I'd like to now give a very simple application of first passage ideas to the problem of first passage in an interval. Instead of formulating this problem as an abstract random walk problem, let's think of it as a simple gambling problem. We start out with a total of L coins, and I have X of them, and you have L minus X of them. And at every step of the game, I flip one of my coins, and if it comes up heads, I take a coin from you, and if it comes up tails, I give you a coin. And the game ends when either I win all the coins or you win all the coins. And so the question is, what's the probability that I will win, and how long does it take for the game how long will the game last? So let's now represent this graphically. So we have our one-dimensional interval from 0 to L. L is I have all the coins, 0 you have all the coins. And then we start, for example, I have X coins. And so the two questions I want to address are, first of all, E of X, which is the probability that I win, starting with X coins. And the other question is T of X, which is the time of the game. Again, when I start with X coins. So E is also sometimes known as the exit probability because it's a probability for me to exit at L when I'm starting at position X. So in principle, how do we compute E of X? Well, what we would need to do in a sort of straightforward way is we'd have to enumerate all possible trajectories of the game. For example, I could flip heads all the time and I would move systematically to the right and I would win the game after a small number of steps. And I'd have to compute the probability of such a path. I'd have to compute the probability of a path which wanders more or less aimlessly and maybe goes close to 0 before finally returning to X. I've got to sum up over every single trajectory that doesn't touch 0 and ends up at L. So formally, E of X, this exit probability, is a sum over all paths, the probability of a path that goes from X to L. And instead of enumerating every single path one by one, what I'm going to do now is look one step in the future and just say, well, if I go one step in the future, then I've either stepped first to the right or to the left, and at that point, the problem starts all over again. So I can essentially avoid the problem of enumerating all paths by doing this decomposition one step into the future. This type of equation, or this type of a formulation, is known as the backward Kolmogorov equation, but as you'll see, it's just a very simple physical idea. So the point is, I say that if I go one step in the future, half of the time, I step to the right. And then what I need in order to find the probability that I win after one step to the right, I've got to sum up over all paths, say prime, the probability of a path that starts at X plus dx and makes it all the way to L. Or my first step could have been to the left. I could have lost a quarter or lost a coin. And then I have to sum up over all paths double prime the probability of starting at X minus dx and ending up at L. But now let's look at what this equation really says. So the first term, 1/2, and this is just nothing more than the exit probability starting at X plus dx. So we have E of X plus dx. And the second term is 1/2 E of X minus dx. And this equation needs to be supplemented with a boundary condition, and the boundary conditions are that if I start with no quarters or no coins, I've lost. I have no chance of winning. So E of 0 is equal to 0. And if I start with L coins to begin with, then by definition I've already won. So these are the two boundary conditions. So the simplest way to solve this equation is to do a Taylor series expansion. So if we Taylor expand to second order in dx, the 0th order terms will be 1/2 E plus 1/2 E, which cancels the E on the right, on the left side. The first order terms will cancel because there's a plus dx and a minus dx. And we're only left with the second order term, second derivative of E with respect to X equals 0. So the equation we have to solve is E double prime of X is equal to 0. And the solution to this equation is E of X is equal to x over L. So this is a very simple but very important result, and it just says that the probability that I win is proportional to the fraction of capital that I begin in the game. So if I start with 90% of the quarters, then 90% of the time I will win, and if I start with 10% of the quarters, then 10% of the time I will win. It turns out that there's an even simpler way of deriving the same result using a notion known as Martingale, which basically says that the way that I formulated this game, the mean number of that the mean position of the random walker stays invariant. So an even simpler approach is to notice that the mean position of the walk at any given time is invariant. So at t equals 0, my initial average position by the definition of the problem is I started at x. At infinite time, whenever the game is finished, then the mean position of the walker is, we have to sum up over the possibilities that happen at infinite time. So with probability 1 minus e, I've lost, and so I'm at position 0. And with the probability e, I've won, and I'm at position L. And so these two things must be equal because the process has no bias throughout the entire game. And so from this, we also get that e of x is equal to x over L. Embarrassingly simple. Finally, let's now compute the time for the game to end. And again, it's the same reasoning as for the exit probability. So in principle, I should enumerate, to find the mean time, I should enumerate over all paths t of a path that starts at x and it either goes to 0 or to L. So I'm looking specifically at the unconditional time for the game to end. I don't care who wins, I just want to know how long the game will take to end, independent of who's won. In fact, one can extend this formalism to compute the conditional exit times, that is, the time for the game to end given that I win, or the time for the game to end given that you have won. But now I'm going to apply exactly the same reasoning as I did for the exit probability. I'm going to say that I want to sum up over all paths the time of a path, and I'll decompose my path into the very first step, which takes a time dt for every single step, times the probability for that step, and then I have to add plus the time that it takes to go from the new position to the end of the game. So the very first term will be there'll be a factor of 1/2, and then there's a dt because no matter what I do, I spend a time dt in the very first step. But then I'm at position x plus dx, and what I want to do to find the exit time from this new position is I want to sum up over all paths prime t from x plus dx to either 0 or L. And similarly, there's a term 1/2 dt plus a summation over all paths double prime in which the very first step is to the left, and I want to compute t starting at x minus dx and going to 0 or L. And once again, I'm going to do a Taylor series expansion of this equation. So I'll have t of x. So the very first term, there's the term that doesn't involve the path, so there's a term dt. And then I have plus. And so this quantity, well, before I do the Taylor series expansion, this term here, this is nothing more than just t of x plus dx. So I'm going to have plus 1/2 t of x plus dx. And the second term is 1/2 t of x minus dx. And now I do the Taylor series expansion. The 0th order terms will cancel, the first order terms will cancel, and so we'll be left with only the second order term, which is 0 is equal to dt plus 1/2 delta x squared t double prime of x. Or I can write this as t double prime of x is equal to minus 2 dt over delta x squared, which you should recognize as our friendly inverse diffusion coefficient minus 1 over d. So the equation is t double prime dt double prime is equal to minus 1. And the boundary conditions are that, well, if I start at 0, the game is obviously over. If I start at L, the game is obviously over. And so the boundary conditions are t of 0 equals t of L equals 0. The solution to this equation is simple, and let me just write it down. T of x is equal to 1 over 2d x times L minus x. So this is the answer for the time that it takes for the game to end. And this simple equation actually has a lot of interesting meat to it. So let me plot as a function of x this exit time, t of x. And so at x equals L at 0, at x equals 0 at 0, and it's the form of an upside down parabola, something like this. And notice that if x is equal to 1, or if x is equal to L minus 1, so here is 1 and here's L minus 1, then this exit time is of order L. Whereas if I start at the middle, here is L over 2, the height of this function is of the order of L squared. So this is a very important aspect of this exit probability problem, which is that typically, since we've learned that for a random walk, the time that that the mean position grows as the square root of time, it stands to reason that the exit time should scale as a square of the characteristic length of the problem. But if I start very close to either boundary, then the time scales only linearly with the size of the system.